Yo, 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 what's popping? I'm Bryce Morrison. He's my older little brother, Zachary Morrison. And today we're doing the mock draft before the draft later today. Let's get it. Who do you have with the number one overall pick, Zachary?
Well, first caveat, we do not have any trades in our draft.
That's true. There will definitely be
Yeah, there
trades.
will definitely be trades. We just wanted to do ours as if each team kept their pick, which
Yes.
will not happen, but just a little disclaimer before we get into it. But
I
I do have the Atlanta Hawks taking Zachary Rissicher.
I have Alex Sarr. And the reason why is because I think the Hawks, I'm predicting that this offseason they will go on full all rebuild, and Alex Sarr has a higher potential than Richard Sarr does.
I think the Hawks still want to compete. They will be allowed to have Okongwu or Capello out there with Zachary Rissicher, who has a decent inside game and with coaching could have a decent outside stroke. I think he'll be able to keep them competitive.
I just don't see the Hawks like with the regime right now. I don't see them being a threat to anyone. That's why I think that they will bite the bullet and trade Trae Young.
If they do the trades, yeah, go Alex Sarr, but I th- I think they go Zachary Rissicher.
And the Wizards, I have Richard Sarr. I think the French do. I don't. Aren't they on the same team?
No, I don't think so.
But again, they're both French. They both look good in France, and I think they will both are the top two in this draft.
Yeah, I have the Wizards taking Sarr. They could take anybody at any position, but they're going to take the best prospect. Sarr is very raw, but he should, at the very least,
Isn't he the
first
youngest in
night
the
in,
draft?
provide above average defense, get rebounds. He'll work on his inside game.
Isn't Sarr also the youngest in this draft?
He might be. He's among the youngest.
And I for the Rockets, I have Marcus Budazilis. I just think like I'm not predicting KD to be traded there like a lot of people are saying. I don't. Do you?
No, I think they'll try to go other avenues, but they have
I just
a
think
lot of picks and they have contracts to match it with Fred Van Vliet and Dylan Brooks.
I just think like they're more of shooting guards.
I'm saying that they have those large
Yeah,
contracts to match anybody
that's true.
in the league. They they have the flexibility with their roster to be able to match any salary and acquire anybody
I just
because of
think
their talent and
I think like what the Rockets
depth.
need right now is a small forward and like a bucket getter, and I think Budazilis is a bucket getter.
I think they just need shooting.
He is a shooter.
Well, he has a good form. He just didn't do well in the G League Ignite. We'll see if he can work with NBA shot doctors, get his shot consistent.
What is
But
the
I have
potential
them
if he
taking the
does that?
best pure shooter in the draft and Reed Shepard. They were in the bottom third of the league in 3-point percentage, and this will drastically improve that. He won't need to be handling the ball. He'll be able to just go out there and uh, get open and shoot threes.
With the Spurs, I have Donovan Clingan. I think if you look at Victor Wembanyama, like his offensive game and spits out a power forward, but I think Clingan could develop like a decent mid-range game for a center. I just think what the Spurs need right now, I don't think they're ready to compete right now. I think they should like get a sure on front court uh, and defense because defense always leads to good things and at beginning of rebuilds.
I have them taking Stephen Castle. They need somebody who can be their point guard. He offers great defensive versatility and he can make shots. He also has the size.
Yeah.
The Trey Jones, I think he's better coming off the bench. or being their sixth man. And we also saw that Jeremy Sohan at point guard did not work.
Well, it was
Well,
to be
Jeremy
expected.
Sohan is booty offensively. He's a good defender, but offense, he's booty. One of the worst offensive players I've ever seen. And he was drafted ninth 2 years ago in his semi-solid class.
Have you seen Michael Kidd-Gilchrist offensively?
Yes, I know, but he was a
He was an awful offensive player.
yes, I know.
And at the fifth pick, Dalton Connect for me, I just think like they're gonna go the best small forward on the board right now. And like for me personally, I could see him drafting a center, but like in my mock draft, Donovan Clingan already went. So I personally think Zach Edey could be drafted here, but I don't think he will based on how the NBA is going right now. I think they'll draft the best small forward on the thing because their guard position is very packed up right now. So yeah, that's why I have Dalton Connect being drafted there.
I have the Detroit Pistons selecting Matas Buzelis from the G League Ignite. He has a great inside game. He has a good form that, with the right coaching and time, should become a very good, or at least an above average,
Defender.
shooter.
I
And
think
he should end up being a good defender. He could be more than a 3-and-D with a good inside game, and he has length, and he's, I think, like 19, so he has plenty of time to develop. And the Pistons, I think they're not going to want to get a 23-year-old. They need young people. They need people younger than that will be able to be in their prime when they're actually contending or they're wanting to contend when they think they can in like 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, and like for the Hornets, I have I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Tijane Saloon.
Yeah, another French power forward. I just think like I can see a Brandon Miller as a power forward, but I think like what they want to do, I think he fits more of a small forward role. How about you?
Very well could.
How about you?
I have them picking Dalton Connect or Necht. A lot of people say that they've been very high on him. And they'll probably just try to get somebody that can just get buckets right now, who won't need to be the primary ball handler because they have LaMelo Ball, and they don't want to be taking the ball out of his hands. Obviously, if he's healthy, I think they could go a center here, but I believe they think Mark Williams, center of the future, they'll probably give him another season or two,
Yeah.
see if he's healthy and is able to stay on the floor and translate his potential more than he already has. He's already been a pretty decent center. If he stays healthy, he could be a top 10 center.
Yeah. For shooting guard, yeah, I mean for the seventh pick, I have Reed Shepherd. Like with Trailblazers, I have the same problem here with with the Pistons, and it's that they need a center because I think a 6'9" center is too small. I should know. I don't think my center should be a center. Never did, but it's done fine. I just don't think it's very productive in this day because it's going back to bigger centers that can shoot now. How about you?
I have the Portland Trailblazers picking up Donovan Clingan.
Yeah.
They need a center. DeAndre Ayton he was only good for the first 4 or 5 years of his career,
I'd
and
say first three.
first three, once you don't.
Since
Like,
Chris Paul.
Oh, or since the finals,
Yes.
he's been pretty much non-existent. He got gifted that contract by the Pacers, wasn't it? He
Yeah.
signed it, and then he got that. They're just gonna try and move on for him, but nobody's gonna take that contract. They're just gonna try and get
I
better.
think what ruined DeAndre Ayton was that he actually got signed by the Pacers and they got him back. Like they accepted the thing. I think he would have been fine with the Pacers regime. Yeah, for the 8th pick, I have Stephen Castle. Like I have the Spurs picking Klingon and Castle. So you have them getting Castle, and I'm also getting them Castle. But yeah, I just think the same thing what Zach said earlier. I'm not predicting trades, but I wouldn't be surprised if Trae Young is on the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, if the San Antonio Spurs make a trade, this will be the one that they probably trade.
Yeah.
They'll probably pick their pick of their top guy at 4, and then if they decide to make a move, they'll be making a move with that 8th pick.
Yeah.
I have them picking Tijane Saloon. I know you think that Wembanyama's offensive game is more that of a power forward, but he can defensively play as a center, and that's what matters. Can you defensively play as a center?
He
Because
could
if you can stretch it out, it doesn't matter. Because he can also play inside it. He's long enough. He will get the strength. He can play center. He would be great, maybe even better at
would it
power forward.
surprise you if the
But it's
Spurs
not.
draft Klingon?
No, it would not.
It's the best fit.
I just think Wembanyama can play center. So this way, then they get a good power forward prospect that should, in theory, turn out to be a good 3-and-D
He's
guy.
more of a small forward. Tristan DeSella is more of a small forward.
No, Tadane Saloon.
Oh, Tadane
the
Saloon.
French guy. I'm
Okay.
not ridiculous in getting Tristan De Silva.
Oh, I thought you, I'm like Tristan De Silva.
Tadane Saloon.
Okay, thank you. I thought you
The
said
French guy.
I know.
6'8".
I know. The top 3 power forwards are all French power forwards.
Well, Sar's definitely a center. He's not a power forward. He's a
Yeah.
center. He has no offensive game. He has to be a center.
Right now. I think he could develop as a power forward. Number 9, I have Nikola Tobic from Serbia. I just think like what the Grizzlies need. I think me personally think what's his name? They're the gunman.
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant is a shooting guard in my opinion. I just think they need a guy. Oh crap. I believe I'm Topic. I just think Ja Morant's more of a shooting guard in my opinion, and they need a point guard.
I have the Grizzlies selecting Cody Williams. He could play either shooting guard or small forward. He has a decent offensive game, and he should be able to contribute on the defensive end. He'll slide in well with Jaw and Bane. A center would be most preferable, but they're not going to reach on Edey at this point.
I think it wouldn't be a reach.
Well, a reach in, well, it depends. Edey has to get more mobile. Like he tested well, but how well will he be able to be mobile in an NBA game?
Gotcha. The Jazz, I have Rob Dillingham. I think they need a point guard. They just don't have a point guard right now. And I think they're about to go on full on rebuild though. Again.
So trying to trade off. Do you think they'll even trade Kessler then?
Yeah. Well, Kessler didn't really have a good year last year.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Markkanen.
I don't know how much value Kessler actually has.
Markkanen definitely
Yeah.
has some value.
Yeah.
They should be able to get something good for Markkanen.
But yeah.
Good for them.
How about you? Who do you have for the Jazz?
I have the same pick, Rob Dillingham.
They need a point guard. For the Bulls, I have Ron Holland.
But the thing about Rob Dillingham, you know what I kind of see him as? I see him as a Colin Sexton with better passing.
So he actually has
Like a
IQ.
natural point guard, but the offensive ability to score like Colin
So what you're
Sexton.
saying is he actually has offensive IQ?
Other than scoring IQ. He got better at it, but he was never really like a distributor.
He's a ball hog. Yeah, for the Bulls, I have Ron Holland. I think that they're gonna. I think unfortunately what they're gonna do is sign. Yeah. DeMar DeRozan back, and I think DeMar DeRozan will mentor Ron Holland. Even though Ron Holland is a little bit better of a shooter, I just think he'll help him like mentally be able to become that.
Yes.
How about you?
I have Ron Holland as well.
The second, my bad.
Well, yes, the second. They need to get young. They're not going to compete. Their guys are old. That
Well, Lonzo's coming back.
supposedly.
So yeah,
Because Vukovic is old, DeRozan's old,
Levine.
and can't even stay healthy. Veen can't even stay healthy, and they can't even trade him. They just need to
bite the
rebuild.
bullet.
Especially with the way that the rest of their division is. With Milwaukee still competing, Indiana now competing, and depending on what the Cavaliers do, which hopefully we're able to re-sign Donovan Mitchell, we'll be contending too. If we're healthy, which has been the biggest reason for our failure outside of rebounding.
Okay, so for the Thunder, I have them drafting. I don't know which Jay Williams, Jalen Williams' brother this is, but Cody Williams, the brother of one of the Jalen Williamses.
I have them going with Jacoby Walter for the D, and he should turn out as a good off the ball shooter. They have the offense already. I think they just need to bolster their defense.
I'm
Like
going.
why they got Caruso? They need then this will give them a guy that can play 2 and 3, while Caruso plays 1 and 2 on that defensive unit. Like when they're trying to specialize in defense, if they need
I'm
somebody.
gonna make a bold prediction. The Thunder might try to trade up for the number 1 overall pick tonight to get the. I think that what they need is like a SAR. I really think they need a SAR. How about you?
I don't know why people keep saying they need a center.
It's a power forward. I think that.
Sorry is the center. He's not going to be playing power forward.
Well, like I,
Chet can play center.
he can also play power forward.
They need a power forward center. They need somebody that does not have
Fine, a
the
Rich
dis.
SAR.
They need
How about if they trade up for
somebody
Rich
without the
Assar?
distinction
How if they
of
trade up
either
for
being a
Rich
center or a
Assar?
power forward.
How if they trade up for Rich Assar?
They could. That would actually. That could be pretty good, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
or are they gonna just try and keep everything and package it up next year for flag?
Oh, that would be. I don't think anyone's. If they get the number 1, any team that gets the number 1 overall pick, I would not trade that pick. Cooper Flag is going to be amazing, in my opinion.
I have the Kings taking Tristan Da Silva,
I've
a bucket getting small forward that could also play power forward. Harrison Barnes is getting old. Can fit him in with Keegan Murray.
I have Jacoby Walters.
Walter.
The reason why is because I just think when I watch Baylor games, I just saw like I think like the Kings' problem is like I think they rely too much on Fox's athleticism, and like what he does is I think he's a bucket getter. I think Walter is a bucket getter, and that's what the Kings really need is a bucket getter. I think Fox and Sabonis are not bucket getters. They'll get buckets, but they're not like the guy for buckets.
Yes.
How about you?
For the Blazers now. Oh no, we're at the 14th pick, the last pick of the lottery. I have the Blazers getting Johnny Furphy. A lot of people have him as a shooting guard. I have him more of a small forward due to his size. His shooting ability will be able to stretch the floor. They already got their center earlier in Klingon. Now they need to get a small forward because they would be reaching if they were to get a power forward.
I got Tristan Da Silva, who is a small forward.
Yeah, if Tristan Da Silva was there, yes, I would say that would be a good pick.
Yeah, I'll talk about my team. I think we both got Zach Edey.
Yes.
I think the Heat need a center, and we just paid Bam this morning 3 years, 166 million. I think he.
Oh, lucky.
What?
Lucky him, man.
Obviously, I'll never make that much, but I think
Yeah, we won't ever unless you subscribe.
unless But yeah, I just think Zach Edey is what the Heat really need. Like I'm tired of the Heat drafting super young guys and not playing them. Like when we draft, like,
Hawkins ain't super
I'm not
young.
talking about Hawkins. I'm talking about like I've noticed every other year we draft someone that is extremely young and don't play him for 3 years, pretty much. I'm tired of us drafting younger.
You guys played Winslow. You guys played
Not really.
Hero.
Not well, Hero as after injuries.
Well, he still played.
But yeah, like we need a guy that I think could be a day one starter, and Zach Edey is a day one starter. He's the back-to-back National Player of the Year. For a reason. He deserved them. How about you? Do you agree he deserved them?
He's a big college basketball player. Quite possibly the biggest college athlete.
Of all time.
Not of all time. I was talking about like in college at the
Yeah.
time. Certainly, I'd say better
Right.
than Caleb Williams.
He's definitely taller than Caleb Williams.
Zach Edey would destroy Caleb Williams.
Yes, he would. I have Johnny Flurfy.
Furphy.
Furphy for the 76ers. I think they need a shooting guard right now. And because they trained Maxey to become a point guard now, which I personally don't think is a point guard, but they're going to play him at point guard. That's why I'm going to have Flurfy there.
Other than picking Devin Carter, a one that can also play two. So then it gives them the versatility to have two guys out there, and both of them can take over the offensive philosophy and on how they distribute it. So then they don't know what's coming. And they could even have it set up where one guy brings it up, but the other guy's facilitating.
Okay, for the Lakers, I have Jared McCain. I think they're going to draft a point guard, and I don't think it's going to be Bronny. I'm sorry, LeBron. I just don't think Bronny is that good. He wasn't good in college. And I think the Lakers are going to realize that LeBron isn't going to control them, and they're going to pick who they absolutely need, and they need a decent point guard. How about you?
I have the Lakers drafting a center in
I can
Yves
see that.
VC.
I can see that.
It'll give them the ability to put Davis at 4, and then also actually have a good center when Davis inevitably misses at least 20 games. And it gives them good interior defense, which they really did not have outside of Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Which again,
He's
is he going to play?
He played this
Yeah,
year.
I know he wasn't qualified, but I believe he qualified for league leaders.
Yeah,
but
he did.
come on, like first time in forever.
Yep.
He's a great player when he plays. Don't get me wrong. Top 10, probably maybe top 5 when he plays if he's healthy. But this man, unfortunately, is not able to stay healthy.
On to the Magic. I think the Magic are in a good / bad spot right now. And because like what they are, they have so many okay players. Like I think they have that's why I'm saying like they could draft literally any position. I would not be surprised. How about you?
Yeah. Because they're not going to need somebody at the 18th pick to come right in and be a starter.
That's exactly why I have Kyle Filipowski, because I think like him and Boncaro would be a great power forward duo.
And you can even put Filipowski at center.
Yes, you could.
Or even put Boncaro at small forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have him getting Bub Carrington because they keep getting these point guards that end up being shooting guards.
Yes.
They got Jalen Suggs. He's now a shooting guard. Cole Anthony is pretty much a shooting guard. And then Markelle Fultz.
We don't know if he's going to play.
That, and do they really want him to be their point guard other than maybe a backup point guard? No, I don't think they would at this
decent last year.
Yes, but they want to compete. They were the 5th seed. And they took the Cavs to 7.
I think they could have beaten them. I think they're one of the only teams that could have beaten the Celtics.
We would have beaten them if Jared Allen was healthy. And the refs didn't ride the Celtics, especially Jason Tatum. Like they rode him. That's why he was on the line.
Uh,
The refs rode the Celtics all playoffs. Like like this was the refs before the playoffs. This was the refs after the playoffs with how much they rode the Celtics.
Again, for the Raptors, I have Devin Carter. I think they need a point guard, and he's probably the best one left, in my opinion. Yeah, the best one left. I just think he's a decent passer, in my opinion. I know he was a junior, but still, he's not that. People act like junior is that much older than a freshman that comes out of the draft.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
How about you? What do you have with the Raptors?
I'm doing a little bit of a mix up here. I'm shaking it up.
You are?
Yeah, I'm changing what I had. I'm putting Topic to the Raptors. I think Quickly can be their point guard this year, but they'll move him to small forward.
Is he under
Shooting guard
contract?
should be restricted
Okay.
if he's not. And then they have RJ Barrett who can play small and power because he's 6'8" in the smaller lineups. And then they'll have Grady Dick who could play small, and then they'll have their point guard who can distribute and give it to all these weapons when he comes back from the ACL.
I already had Topic picked if I wasn't.
I just think that the other people wanted guys that could play now. The Raptors, they can wait a year.
Well, I was saying the Grizzlies could wait a year too.
They could.
Do you
I
get
think
why I
that
gave
they
them the
want to
Grizzlies?
compete though, like this year, like they want to make the playoffs this year, which they have the ability. They have the
I thought
players
that-
to do so.
They just fell apart last year.
Well, yeah, they had injuries. They had
Gun suspensions.
yeah, and they had like no name players. They had like freaking Timmy Allen play. Like they they did so bad that they ended up finding a diamond in the rough in GG Jackson in the second round, which they had or wasn't it? And I think it was a two-way to start the year.
Yeah, it was.
So he had no intentions of playing because they were so injury riddled. They ended up finding somebody good.
Yep. For the Cavs, do you want to explain the one I did too?
Bryce picked Yves Misi. He thinks he's like Jared Allen. So if we trade Jared Allen, or if Jared Allen gets hurt, or we put Jared Allen on the bench while Jared Allen's resting, we still have Jared Allen.
Are you fine with that pick?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think the Cavs do need a backup center. I think what we do need is a true small forward that can also play four when we have Mobley or Allen as the center.
Well, the best small forward that I had left was Ryan Dunn. So,
Yeah, no, that he would just be a D guy. And
so do you get why I had
like I guess like he could just be like Okoro's replacement and he's bigger. Like, but I want to keep Okoro. But
So
we
do-
need like a true actual small forward size wise that can also play four when we have Mobley or Allen at center.
Yeah.
But I have us picking Kyle Filipowski because he can play power forward and center. I think he'll just be in there whenever one of Evan Mobley or Jared Allen are not in, and he'll just be the other big with the other guy. He can shoot, so it would actually bring some shooting and spread that we haven't had from our fours recently. I know Mobley has made tremendous progress, and at the end of the season, even making some threes in the playoffs. But is he reliable yet to do it on a consistent basis? I hope he will be soon.
I've never seen consistency in Evan Mobley's offensive.
He hit a dagger against the T-Wolves, I believe.
Bam hit a dagger against the Pistons.
It's the Pistons.
He also hit a dagger against the Celtics, might I add. So yeah, for the for the for the Pelicans, I got Carlton Carganti.
Carlton Carrington,
Yeah.
Bub Carrington.
Yeah, I just think they need a point guard. I think CJ McCollum's getting old. I just think like they would need a point guard.
Yeah. I have the Pelicans, I originally had them drafting Topic, but then I thought about it. With Topic being gone, they'll go with Jared McCain. A guy who didn't need to distribute it, but he can distribute it, and he can shoot threes pretty well.
I have the Suns drafting Isaiah Collier. I think he's the better everyone knows he's a better prospect than Bronny James that's coming out of USC.
Yeah.
Because Bronny did not decommit from the draft, so he's in the draft.
Yeah. I have them picking Tyler Kolek just because he's older and he has more vision. They want to compete now. That's why they have the
I
team
don't
that
know
they
what the
have.
Suns are doing.
It depends. Do they want to just
Bite the bullet.
try and just like reset, retool where it's Devin Booker's team, not Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal? Granted, nobody's going to take Bradley Beal unless you throw him several draft picks.
Yeah.
And nobody really wants Bradley Beal under
And the
that money.
Suns don't really have draft picks.
Yeah, they don't. So they're stuck with Bradley Beal, but they could maybe get something out of Kevin Durant and maybe able to retool their roster. So then when they're off of the Bradley Beal contract,
Yeah. Which
then Devin
is-
Booker will be like 31, and hopefully they'll do something then. They're kind of in a poopy situation, but if they get a
Yeah.
point guard that can contribute now and stay healthy, they can. Like if they actually had a point guard, they might have been able to beat the Timberwolves.
I think for the Bucks, they need a center. Brook Lopez is very old. I think they'll get Kellen Ware.
Okello, where
Yeah.
I have for the exact same reason. They need a center. Brook Lopez is old. Hello, where can play inside pretty well.
And he has a
And he's
decent outside.
and he's good at oh yeah, he did kind of get a 3-pointer in his second year, and he is a above average defender.
Yep. And the Knicks have back-to-back picks, so we're just gonna tell them both of their picks. Ryan Dunn and Bubby Killington. I just think,
Bobby Klinsman.
yeah, I think they need four. Like, I know they just got Mikal Bridges. Very bad trade for the Knicks, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to. Yes, it's just gonna make them make the playoffs more, but I don't think that. I think their best that they could do is maybe make it to a conference finals.
They can
Maybe.
make it to the finals. Yeah, they just overpaid because
Yeah.
in 31, when half these guys are gone,
Or
or
retire.
they're in their 30, like their mid 30s, or retired, they have to give up a first round draft pick, which will probably be
Who knows?
a
what it
lottery
is.
pick. No, it's going to be a lottery pick.
No, what I
You heard it here first. That it's going to be a top 10 pick in 2031, and then the Knicks are going to be like, they're going to be garbage, and then they're
Yeah.
going to not have a pick.
that's why I picked forwards because
But it won't matter if they win a championship. Which is
I
all that-
picked a power forward because who knows how much longer they'll have of Randall.
yeah, I got
And I picked this small forward just in case they don't re-sign OG and Anunoby.
I got Terrence Shannon and Bobby Clintman. Terrence Shannon has a really good inside game. He can also score on all three levels. He's just not as consistent from three, but his penetration game is bar none the greatest in this class.
Yeah, I agree. And for the Wizards, I have them drafting a shooting guard because I believe they acknowledge Jordan Poole is not what they thought he was going to be.
Yeah,
And I think Keyshawn George will be that pick.
yeah.
How about you?
For the Wizards,
Yeah.
I actually have picking. Yeah, I could see him doing that, but I think they need a point guard. I have him picking Isaiah Collier. The 3-point shooting ability of George and his length is very intriguing for them, but they need a point guard. That's why I have him going with.
They could even get Tyler or Connect.
Oh no, I already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he went to the Suns because they
Okay.
need the
Oh, yeah,
veteran.
that's right.
And then I have the Timberwolves selecting Kaishan George.
I have Tyler Kolek. I think they need a point guard. Like their point guards are Mike Conley, I think. I think that's pretty much it.
I think they'll try and get somebody with
Don't
their
they-
mid level except
Do they still have Derrick Rose?
I think so.
So Mike Conley and Derrick Rose is it? They need more.
Like
They need younger.
13, 14 years ago, that would have been
And I'm
Amazing.
drafting them an older point guard because they are ready to compete now.
And then for the
Denver Nuggets.
Nuggets, I have them picking Ryan Dunn.
I Pizza Dabadet. I don't know how to pronounce some French name.
Passione Dadiet or Dadier.
I think he is a sniper.
Yeah.
He's a sniper.
Pacome Daddy.
Pacome and Daddy. So yeah,
That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. Pacome Daddy.
I think he could be a small forward. I think that they acknowledge that they need a small forward of the future, and Porter is a disappointment. How about you?
I'm gonna say he's a disappointment.
He's more of he was not a non-factor really in the playoffs. I think he's more of like a six man, if anything, because he's every time that's in the ball, he just shoots.
That'd be a good role for him. He's a good offensive player. He's
A six man.
he's supposed to be a weapon, and I guess being a six man, what I'm gonna do and to get Ryan Dunn, maybe allow him to get a lockdown defender, possibly the best defender in the draft
I have
at the 28th pick.
for the Jazz, I have them drafting Terrence Shannon Jr. I just think like I had him falling because I'm like I think nowadays a lot of people are afraid to draft older people, I've noticed.
Yeah,
Even though a 3-year difference between a senior and a freshman is not bad.
that has definitely been the trend that we have seen as of late.
And you've seen some of the seniors that came out and performed.
Yeah, I have.
And for the yeah.
Yeah. Do I not get to say what I think
No.
the Jazz are gonna do?
No.
Okay, Utah, you don't get a pick.
What is
We
it?
found something on you. You don't get your pick now. The NBA, we're breaking it to you. The NBA said no more pick for you. No, just kidding. I have them picking Tyler Smith, a good 3-and-D guy. Could play 3 or 4. I think they want to keep Kessler one more year. I think Taylor Hendricks will be a good 4 for them. And with already getting Rob Dillingham and then having Keyshawn George be their shooting guard of the future, they need their small forward, power forward, and that's Tyler Smith. If not, he could be at least a good 3-and-D guy off the bench.
For me, I have the Celtics picking Tyler Smith because I think the Celtics could win again next year, and they don't really need a pick. They'll just pick him for the future.
And then I have the Boston Celtics drafted.
Tyler?
No, he already got drafted.
Oh yeah.
Keyshawn George, I think. Or
Yeah.
yeah, because Keyshawn George.
Yeah, I can see it. Well, I hope you enjoy your video. Hopefully, we'll see you later today. Peace.